This is Greg Doyle for Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat. Guys, it is prediction time for this week. As you know, when I come to you with these videos, I will give you a quick background into both fighters. I will tell you where I see the fight being won, and also I will finally give you my prediction. The fight I want to talk to you guys about this week is potentially the biggest fight of the year. It's for the Unified World Heavyweight Championship, and it is between the champion Anthony Joshua, who is 23-1 with 21 knockouts, and he takes on his mandatory challenger, who is Kubrat Pulev, who is 28-1 with 14 stoppages. Guys, what a fight this one is. I've been really doing my homework on both fighters over the past few days. We've seen a lot of both fighters over the years, but before I come to you guys with these videos, I like to remind myself, go back, watch some fights, get a little bit of a feeling for the fight, try and determine how I see both guys' game plans going, and then I like to come and speak to you with the most knowledge that I think I can build up before I do. If we start off by looking at the challenger, Kubrat Pulev, say Kubrat Pulev is 28-1. Very, very good fighter, Kubrat Pulev. I think he's massively underrated in the heavyweight division. You'll not see many more heavyweights, with the exception of maybe Tyson Fury, Hrgovic, a few guys out there who you could say are probably slightly better boxers than Pulev, but he's very, very talented. He's got a really good style. I've went back and watched a lot of his most recent fights. I watched the win over Rydell Booker, which he won comfortably over 10 rounds. He looked a bit adventurous at times in that fight, Pulev, without being disrespectful to Booker. I think maybe the reason for that is he wasn't overly worried with what was coming back. But if you guys go back and look at that fight, and he's done this throughout his career, Pulev, but I still think it's beautiful the way that he does it. He likes to hold his left hand slightly further out, and when he's going to throw, it's hard to determine whether it's a left hook or a jab or in between, but he's got like a curve on it when he throws it, and when he hits that left hook, it then comes straight across with a right hand right down the middle. Really evident in the Booker fight that it gave Booker a lot of problems, and he didn't really quite know how to combat it. He's got the recent victory over Bogdan Dinu in 7 rounds. He stopped Bogdan Dinu. Before that, he beat the UK's own Hughie Fury, which I think is a tremendous win in his record, because I do think Hughie Fury is a very good fighter. Going back previously again, he's got the win over Derek Chisora in points. Pulev has been around the block. His only blemish on the record was a loss in Germany to the then undisputed world heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko, who almost looked unbeatable at one stage, especially in Germany, until Tyson Fury went over and upset the odds. So a very good fighter, Kubrat Pulev, and I think it would be a very big mistake to underestimate him this Saturday. But he takes on the champion, Anthony Joshua. Say Anthony Joshua is 23-1. He's a big year, Anthony Joshua, because I think when he hurt Andy Ruiz in his second last fight there, I think he thought that he was going to go in and finish the job, and you can't really blame him because he's done it with everyone else, hasn't he? But he got caught in the way in, and he never really recovered in that fight. Yeah, there's the conspiracies of what actually happened. Was he ill before the fight, etc. At the end of the day, he went in, he looked good when he was hitting Ruiz, and then after he took that shot, it changed everything. I was very impressed by Joshua in the rematch in Saudi Arabia when he outpointed Ruiz, because I think we've seen a lot of things to Joshua's game that we weren't really sure if he had. Up on his toes, pinging out a jab. I seen a highlight earlier today, which I didn't pick up at the time, even threw a nice wee left hook to the body on the outside, and I was like, God, is that Anthony Joshua that's doing that? Because there's been early on in his career, he was like a big truck, he was just in, bang, bang, knocking people over. They didn't get up again, basically. But he's had to learn, and he's had some really good wins that are massively underrated over guys like Joseph Parker, over Alexander Povetkin, who has recently knocked out Dillian White. He's a good fighter, Joshua. People who take Tyson Fury's side of the argument, I get that, I understand that, but it doesn't mean that you discredit Joshua. He's a guy that's learning on the job. Yeah, Olympic gold medalist. He didn't have a huge amount of amateur fights, and as I say, I was impressed with the way he came back and dealt with Andy Ruiz. Was it as entertaining a fight as I've seen with Joshua? No. But sometimes you fight these guys and you can't just go in and brawl with them That's Andy Ruiz's style. If you're taller than him, you can ping him with a jab, ping him with a left hook, move out the way, and you know you're going to win. Why not do it? At the end of the day, it's about getting the W on your record. Entertaining is very important, but at the same time, give you an example. Some fights of Floyd Mayweather's we've watched and we've nearly fell asleep watching them because they've not really been greatly entertaining, but he's remembered as one of the greatest fighters of all time, if not the. So there's ways to look at it, and I just think that Joshua is improving with every fight that he has now. So I'm really looking forward to it. Guys, if I move on to keys to victory, this is probably the most important part in the video for me this week, because I think that there's two very simple ways that both guys can win the fight. If I'm Kubrat Pulev, I want to push Joshua on the back foot. And if you watch Pulev, when he jabs, he likes to hold his hand out, as I say. That may upset Joshua's rhythm at times. So for me, I think Pulev has to establish the jab and put Joshua on the back foot. Similar tactics for Joshua. I think if Joshua is going to win this fight, he needs to have a look and see what Vladimir Klitschko done to Pulev. Vladimir Klitschko did not allow Pulev to put him on the back foot. Joshua cannot allow Pulev to put him on the back foot. He needs to come out. He needs to have a really sharp 1-2 right down the middle, bum bum, and keep the pressure on Pulev. Keep him on the back foot. Don't let him get comfortable where he can throw that left hook right hand down the middle. Not a good idea. So for me, Anthony Joshua, he's got to come out, throw a sharp 1-2 down the middle and put Pulev on the back foot. Guys, over and on to prediction time. Really difficult fight, this one. And the only reason I say that is because I think everyone is massively overlooking Pulev. And I wonder, in the back of Anthony Joshua's mind, is he already thinking about Tyson Fury? He'd be very, very foolish to do that after the lesson learned against Andy Ruiz. I think for both guys, I think the blueprint is there on how to beat Kubrat Pulev. People could say it's there for Joshua. I don't really believe so. I think that Andy Ruiz caught him when he was caught and hard to put pressure on him. Any fighter can do that to anyone if you get caught. But for me, I just see a lot of vulnerabilities for Pulev when he gets put on the back foot. If you allow Pulev to dictate, it's a very, very dangerous night. And we've seen him outpointing some of the UK's top fighters, i.e. Derek Chisora, Hughie Fury. You cannot let him get comfortable and put you on the back foot. But I have to go with a prediction, and the one that I'm going to go for, guys, I just think that Anthony Joshua will have learned his lessons from Andy Ruiz, and I see him stopping Kubrat Pulev in a potential sticky opening to the fight. But for me, my prediction for this week is for Anthony Joshua to knock out Kubrat Pulev and retain his world heavyweight titles. Guys, Greg Doyle, Eat, Sleep, Boxing, Repeat. Subscribe to us down below. Check out all of our social platforms, and I'll be back to see you guys again next week. Thank you.